wore a smile painted in red. He brought laughter to children's parties. He shook hands with politicians and threw the best barbecues on the block. But beneath the floorboards of his home was a sinister secret. 29 bodies lay buried in silence. This is the story of John Wayne Gacy, the killer clown. Born in 1942, Gacy grew up in a working-class neighborhood in Chicago. Ordinary surroundings, yet his childhood was marked by pain. A brutal, alcoholic father who viewed any emotion as weakness was often cold and distant towards his young son. Gacy suffered from frequent blackouts and a heart condition, making him a target for bullying. But what hurt most was his father's contempt. Never proud, never kind. In his early 20s, Gacy tried to build a normal life. Marriage, kids, a steady job, the white picket fence. But beneath the surface, urges he couldn't suppress were already starting to break through. In 1968, Gacy was arrested in Iowa for misconduct involving a minor. He made inappropriate contact with a teenage boy, pled guilty, and served just 18 months. While in prison, he was a model inmate, a recurring theme in Gacy's life. Always charming, always deceptive, a carefully crafted mask to put on for other people. He was released early and with shocking ease resumed a seemingly normal life. No one in his new community knew what he had done. No one suspected anything out of the ordinary. Back in Illinois, Gacy opened a contracting company, hosted political events, and became the friendly neighborhood clown, Pogo, who would perform at children's birthdays and similar events. His home at 8213 West Summerdale Avenue became known for its parties, often with young men he hired to work for his business. They were usually fresh out of school and looking for money. But this house held a secret. The first known taking of a life was in 1972. A young boy, never identified, picked up from a bus station. Gacy said he strangled him in a fit of rage, then buried the body in the crawl space of his home. That was the beginning. Over the next 6 years, dozens more would vanish, all young, all male, most between the ages of 14 and 21. Many were runaways, hitchhikers, or boys simply walking home. Some were lured by offers of work. Others never made it home from the gas station, the store, or the corner where Gacy waited. He kept their wallets, IDs, even clothing as trophies, each one a reminder of how easily he could destroy a life and get away with it. The number is staggering: 33 young men and boys, their lives lost forever. 29 were found beneath the house, 4 in the Des Plaines River. In remembrance, we include some of their stories. Timothy McCoy, 15. He was traveling home to Nebraska when he crossed paths with Gacy at a bus terminal. Gacy claimed Timothy startled him while holding a knife, but evidence suggested the boy had simply made breakfast. For trying to be polite, he was murdered. John Butkovich, 17, a Chicago local. He worked for Gacy's construction company and was reportedly owed money. He confronted Gacy in person. The next day, he vanished. His car was found just blocks away, keys still inside. Gregory Godzik, 17, had just started working for Gacy. He told his family he liked the job, but something felt off. One night, he disappeared after giving his girlfriend a ride home. His parents searched desperately, His car was later found abandoned. They received a phone call weeks later from someone claiming Greg had run off, but recognized the voice was not that of their son. Robert Gilroy, 18, the son of a Chicago police sergeant. He disappeared on the day he was supposed to meet friends for horseback riding. His father's position proved to be no deterrent for Gacy. No one was safe, not even the children of those sworn to uphold the law. William Kindred, 19, a thoughtful, artistic young man. He was open about his sexuality, a bold stance in the 1970s. He told his girlfriend he was going to visit a man named John. He never returned after that. Some were never identified. To this day, at least 5 victims remain unknown. They were sons, brothers, friends. Some dreamed of college, others of escape. None of them could have foreseen the cruel fate that awaited them at the hands of a deranged man. In December 1978, 15-year-old Robert Piest disappeared after his shift at a local pharmacy in Des Plaines, Illinois. He was last seen speaking to a contractor about a potential job, a man named John Wayne Gacy. This time, however, he proved to be careless. Robert's mother waited outside in the car. She knew something was wrong when her son didn't return, as he had promised her it shouldn't take long. Gacy claimed he didn't remember the boy, but detectives grew suspicious. They found his criminal record, and soon after began watching his every move. Tail cars, trash searches, quiet interviews with former employees. Slowly but surely, they got to know the man behind the cheerful mask of Pogo the Clown. As all this was taking place, Gacy was unraveling. He drank heavily, didn't sleep much, and began behaving erratic. At one point, he even invited his surveillance officers in for breakfast, cracking jokes as bodies decomposed below their feet. With increasingly mounting pressure, and in a moment of desperation, he finally confessed to his lawyer and a close friend that he had done something terrible. This partial confession was enough. Police managed to obtain a search warrant, and they would not only find the missing boy, but also uncover something far more monstrous. What they found next would shock the nation. The crawl space wasn't just a hiding place, it was a graveyard. Investigators found bones beneath nearly every corner of the house. Some bodies were stacked, others twisted in unnatural positions. The smell, unforgettable. The horror, beyond words. Many were identified by dental records, others through personal effects, wallets, necklaces, IDs. A few remain unknown to this day. Gacy's trial began in early 1980, one of the most high-profile legal cases in Illinois history. The courtroom was packed every day, not just with journalists, but with the families of victims, hoping for justice. Gacy entered a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity. His defense team argued that no sane person could commit such horrific acts. That Gacy was so deeply disturbed he was ruled by his alter egos, including the persona of Pogo. But the jury didn't buy it. He had carefully planned the murders, hidden evidence, lied, manipulated. It was all too deliberate and too structured. The pattern was not that of a man out of control, but a man in total control. After a 6-week trial, he was found guilty on all counts. He stood there, blank and emotionless, as the judge gave his final ruling. He was sentenced to death. On death row, Gacy spent 14 years appealing his sentence. During that time, he turned to painting, creating dozens of eerie portraits of clowns, skulls, and self-depictions. He granted interviews, smirking, shifting blame, even claiming he was innocent, despite the mountain of evidence. On May 10, 1994, John Wayne Gacy was executed by lethal injection. His last words? "Kiss my ass." John Wayne Gacy wore many masks, of charm, of community, of clownish innocence. To the world, he was a businessman, a neighbor, a volunteer, a man who made children laugh. But behind closed doors, he was something else entirely, a predator who operated in plain sight. Cold, calculating, cruel. His story is a haunting reminder. Evil doesn't always look like a monster. Sometimes, it looks like the guy next door. If you found this story disturbing, share it. After all, someone like this could be your neighbor. Subscribe for more true crime breakdowns and spine-chilling stories. Don't forget to let us know which case you want covered next.